Okay, stream should be started. Awesome. So, okay, well, so from last stream, given the fact I've once again tried a playlist of copyright-free music, video has got a whole bunch of claims on it again, so I'm not going to have music again this time. I think if I'm wanting to have copyright-free music, I will need to, like, actually just buy something to have in the background, probably. Okay, so I haven't actually looked at anything just yet on, like, what my plans are to do for this. So there is, yeah. So we can see from here. I've also now made it so that when I go live, we will have a post sent into the Discord, so that we can see people. So it's easier for people to see when I go live. I think it's just started raining the moment I have started streaming. How wonderful. Okay then. So yep. So we will be looking at what to do now because I haven't actually decided, which probably was a bit of a mistake. How many commands are there left to do? And which ones are to do? Return, teleport, go to, send, sit, cameras, duty 1. So a lot of that is just blockers on the dimension system. Which, let's be honest, the dimension system blocks a lot of things. It's a huge blocker. Well, not dimension system, but region system. Okay, I was wanting to stream, or I thought I did. But now I'm not too sure I wanted to. Okay, yeah, so a whole bunch of these are like region system problems, which are not great. I mean, what I would love to do is more of the UI stuff. Getting that cleaned up a bit more. Uh, but oh, looks like OBS is not set to appear on all windows. Show on all windows, and this one is set to show on all windows when it shouldn't be. There we go. Okay. Right then. So, but I have so many windows open again. There you go. Awesome. Yeah. So I mean, some things that do need to be cleaned up at some point is like these Go files. There's also Go file. I think it's duplicate or an out-of-date version here as well. I mean, utils.low is just empty. Yeah. I mean, or actually, I just fix the thing that's causing the error. Okay, I think I've decided what I'm going to be doing. So this is going to be a slight detour, I guess, of things. Um, but will be useful in the future, I guess. Um, no, that's too much effort. Okay, let's fix the bug here anyway. Um, it should be in. I don't actually remember where it's saved. Um, Okay, let's fix this mistake up. Um, where we don't have a dot lower on the end, so it tries to include things that aren't. Um, and then we will need to modify this as well, so that we don't include test files as well. Because test files is going to be a thing that I think I'm going to actually start properly implementing, so that we can actually test things and implement unit testing into the code. Not sure whether I do that now or a bit in the future, because like I think the testing library that exists, that's from like CFG servers or whatever it's called, I think looks stable now, and so we just need to make some minor changes to it so that we can use it in our project because it works and is designed for add-ons over game modes. So we just need to hook into it and override part of how it works. As yeah, we want it to find test.lower files or lower.test files. Haven't yet decided on that one. Whereas right now it just looks at .lua files, which is like great if if you keep your tests separate. But if you've got an entire game mode like this, it's a bit messy to have like, at the top just a tests folder and then have replicate the module. Like that is how it's done in some languages. Um, but I think a little bit more just mess here, where like if you have this thing, I don't actually know how you would test this timer here. Like this is easy enough to test. You grab the name of it, and then you just pass in two things that pretend to be players and characters. And then you just get the values. And as long as it returns false for the thing is valid. Um, yeah, you just get the hook name and the function off it and test. Okay. Anyway, that's me just getting distracted. Is this properly documented as well? To no collide the character. Yeah, that works. This is just with other players. Okay, cool. Well, anyway, that script error that we've had has gone away now because of that. Why is this complaining? What warning do we have? File, shadows, binding. We override S2s. We do. Yes. I don't actually remember why this hack is here. Um, guess let's go with that. I mean, it's not wrong. I just don't quite remember why. I have a feeling this is something to do with the fact that loading this file loads some other things. Um, we then force an if server for some reason. Um, which is not great. But this gives us the table, I guess. I don't remember why, but that was why that happened. Anyway, okay. So that fixes the warning we had there. Oh no, we have one warning in here, which is just a thing. Cool. Nothing in there, nothing in there, nothing in there. Awesome. At the same time, I also feel like I should probably get around to deleting get name, set name, get display name. I just do a Control F. I mean, it's a documented. No, that's a different thing. No, get display name doesn't seem to be a thing anymore. I just realized also with the thing I've done, I put on the bottom right, I don't actually have chat on there anymore. There we go. Let's just move that over to the right. I haven't actually decided yet. I'm still just kind of looking through code. Which probably isn't a great start. But yeah. How long? Oh god, I've been streaming for 13 minutes, apparently. And I still haven't actually decided what I'm working on. I'm just going through code at the moment. But yeah, okay, so it does look as if get maybe get display name is no longer a thing, maybe it's just get name. Get name's gonna be returned by a lot of things. Vendor item rewrite, meta. Yeah, we have a get name, but we don't have a set name. Vars definitely exists. Yeah, net functions exist. Dropping of items exists. I mean, get just user's name. So I'm going to say that's fine to delete. As all that stuff has been replicated. I mean, that's definitely been replicated because containers load now. Recipients, yeah, that works. Opening has been done. Without networking, definitely. Loading, yep. Yeah, that we have been done. That's been moved. That's been done. That will have been done. That will have been done. That's been replicated. That means old, but it's been done. That's been done. Okay, cool. Deprecated can now also go. Awesome. So I no longer have a deprecation folder. Just keeping code in this area. Okay. So what else can be? What can I work on? I mean, I guess an idea that I've been looking at that I might do. I know it's not in the backlog though. Armor system is waiting on armor. Mission system's waiting on fast achievement system. I'm not too sure what it's waiting on. I think it's just. I guess I could do achievements. Because you basically just hook into things and then just register a whole bunch of achievements. Um, yeah, so in the train system, crystal inners. Yeah, there's no blockers for crystal inners. They just need to be implemented. Um, so this has no blockers. And this doesn't seem to have any blockers. Better blocking could be done as well. Can you show the game mode in game? I mean, I can. It's very not great. I think this menu might be broken slightly. Like there's a lot of UI issues currently. And there's lots of things that I want to redo. Why did the... Oh, because I don't have Helton up. There you go, that's why. No Helt. Hang on, I can... Oh yeah, I can just press F3 now, can't I? Yeah. I didn't enable the weapon. Damn. There you go. So yeah... I have a dark inner already. Yeah, yeah, of course, go ahead. Go ahead. Like, if you're looking at the look of this, I know this isn't great. Most of this is just like placeholder. Um, while I wait for a UI designer to like actually come up with something that looks nice and stuff. But yeah, go ahead. Like, criticize all you want. I am fully open to criticism, whatever. Because feedback is how you improve. What, that the UI just looks bad? That was your, like, criticism. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, don't worry, don't worry. I know it's bad. Um, like, I mean, this one's a bit old now, and the person didn't continue working with us. We had sort of like this style of, like this was like one UI we had. I've got everything bought here now, but this was like one of the concepts we had for a bit. That like you can see this stands out a lot better and like a lot stronger. Like it looks a lot nicer than like this menu. Yeah. The item hover was never actually finished. I should actually work on that at some point. Um, but yeah, like I am well aware that most of the UI looks absolutely horrific. Oh, I think I think it's there. I don't think it's actually used inside, but I think that is, yeah. Let me actually check. Um, uh, so that's probably the entity. MC overhead. The font exists in two places. Oh, old code. Yep, you are correct. It is Arbitron. Whereas we're using this one down here because that was done with void UI. So I guess we just change it to Arbitron. I'm not sure if these are still being used or not. And then I will need to copy and paste this across to test those changes. Font founder is empty. Cookie leader loader.lower. Is it empty? It's really not empty. That didn't change, so just run a refresh map. But yeah, it's one where like me and UI, I can't design UI. Give me like a UI concept and I can like recreate. There you go. Now, does this look towards me as a player, not my... Oh, that's not great. That should also be changed. And its animation is glitching as well. Wonderful. Oh, but now I have script errors. String expected got user data. Wonderful. Well, I just broke something there. I assume the code here is not the most recent version, maybe? Yeah, that's what I will assume. String expected got user data. Same time, that's rather odd of an error. Anyway, I'll just make a note that broke Spice Clicker. When... Okay. So it's string crystal inner and achievement system. And I guess let's work on crystal inners. Let's have a look at how coloring is currently decided upon. Okay, so this is the trail. Don't know why it's called IDs though. Is this unused? That's unused. Okay. Okay, that's the rendering. That's then where it gets put. And then we go through, okay. So the inner color is passed through with color inner, and color inner we just request black at the moment. Because we pass in our crystal dot color. And our crystal inner comes in through here. So actually, why are we not doing just crystal dot color inner? Because if we don't have a crystal, we then pass in color white, color white. And we will always have a color. Wait, why is this color white underscore color white from our crystal? We look for a string, do we not? So we want just white and white. Like that. And then assuming the render comes from here. Yeah, we pass in our crystals, our data into swept draw blades. which is here. So we have a crystal which is just storing white. And this data is gotten probably from server side. Yeah, when we build up the data, I expect. And then we can also pass in. Then I guess also item data dot inner crystals. Or do we make it so that just crystals have inners on them, and you just store a crystal inner? I think yeah, you would store a crystal inner on the item. No, let's have inner crystals. Um, which exist, and then you socket them into other crystals, maybe. I guess, yeah, we can go with that. Which would then change the crystal table a bit. Or no, for now, let's just have a second. Let's just go with the basic inner crystals of just as a table. Then we have inners. Don't like the fact this is singular, but this is plural. Okay, crystal. And then inners is equal to that white. Yeah, and then here's the problem. Current inner one is that we don't then pass in it together. So and color inner equal to inner. Then we'll pass that in there. There. And there. There you go, okay. So that should mean we have no script errors. Blades is unused. Apparently. Blade is always incrementing up, but we don't ever actually use it. That is correct. So let's just get rid of it. Yeah, I think this one can go as well. So now we have our inners there. So we'll fall back to white. So I say at the same time somehow this wasn't erroring before. When the code looked very wrong. Anyway, okay. Yes, we have max length. CL init 149. Because up here we forgot to do item data dot crystal. And there we go. Okay then. So we go with that. I just do a comma there. Awesome. Okay then. So one blade works, the other one ID 83, so your blade render. Oh crap, no. Blades, dear God. Okay, I'm blind. Blades was used. It is definitely should be rainbow. Okay. Um. Oh no, the N is already on there. Okay. Never mind. So we don't need this. Okay, and then how is the inners returned from the crystals? Let's have a look. So if we go into our inventory, go into items, go into our, I guess item type, no bases, refined crystal, we just return. There you go. Okay, so refined. I don't remember how tooltip generation works. It's the item, so, and then tooltip data. Um, let's go 1, because it's not too important. But at the same time, it's decently important, so we'll go with that. Um, yeah, so we have is rainbow, so like local inner will be, yeah, we get our item bar and then equals rainbow. And we'll just do that. Okay. Yeah. So now we need to be able to imbue the inner crystal, and so that will, I guess, require some form of crafting. Um, which I don't remember how to actually access crafting. I just know I had done crafting. So, not too sure on that one. Okay, I think I just have a combo at the moment. Yeah, you've started crafting. Yeah, cool. And then that will be retrieved in a bit. Awesome. And then I can now retrieve that. But it also didn't remove the items right now. Yeah, there we go. So we have our crafting recipe there. Um, yeah, so what we'd do is for the inners is we do it, and then on crafted, we keep the old data there. But the items are removed. Okay, that is actually a problem. I'm not too sure about that, how that's handled. Um, we never actually call it. Um, oh, we store the data on pre-crafted, and then we store that data. And we retrieve the item from the con, which is false. We want to store it in the container. Let's actually do it now. Do we have the container ID up here? We do have the container. So yeah, we just pass in a get ID now, as we need a container ID. I don't think that's the name of the table. From container. There you go, container. So we now have our container ID, and we will store our con ID. So even if we lose access to the container that it's stored in, we're still going to make it so that you collect it to that container. So that, yeah, so we store the container ID, so then when we retrieve the item, we don't have our container here anymore. Container isn't required. Where does retrieve item come from? Job ID. we do a callback and we pass in their crafting con, which is the container they've opened. I mean that's not quite what you want, but so this isn't. What's the entity doing here either? Is we get the type of the craft. Why? Because we get the recipe. Um, so actually, do we need the container ID? I don't think we do, actually. I mean, it's nice information to have anyway. Um, because yeah, when we open it and we pass in our entity type, we always pass in the container that we're opening, which means that no matter what the type of entity that we've gone to open the container should always be valid to store the item anyway, because the type would never change, because it's the crafting type of the thing. And so if you have it like to be you're crafting in a ship terminal, like you're crafting ship components, you're never going to open the ship crafting menu with your character inventory, so actually that's technically fine. This should be fine. Container ID doesn't need to be stored. Though I'm going to keep it there for in case it ever is. Because I thought this was a bug in the crafting system, I think. I think it's in here. Yeah, in time to retrieve the item. That's the reason we're wanting it. For in case it's in a different location. Um, though I guess this is fine for now. And I'm not invalid then, not in a space. Awesome. And so if I now open the crafting menu and click retrieve items, it's through there. My inventory is now full again. Awesome. Um, yeah, so this code here is wrong. This is old. So, so let's actually fix this part then. So we want to actually do this before, so the items still exist. Um, Not sure quite why we need all of the possible items, but it will be there for in case we do. So then we now have a pre-crafted. So then we have self item data, where item data is. What is item data in this context? Item class. Is this the item we're crafting? Um, and then this is just all the items that we've used. Um, and then item groups, I guess, I think. Uh, So we loop over, and if it is unstable, then we set it to true, and then we just return unstable equal true. Um, yeah, so this will just add things in here. Um, so uncrafted can go. So if we're... I can do vars to match as well, can't I? I think vars to match was another thing that was done. But we're going to be kind of unstableness and stuff, so that, like, if one of the items in here is unstable, um, we will just allow it through. Um, there we go. So there we go. So we have a nice, fairly simple recipe now. So what we will now do is let's... I don't think I've made a crafting thing yet in here for items, but I'm going to add like a recipes folder. Recipes. That's misspelled. I need to learn how to spell recipes. Just move it onto the side. Recipes. Reci. Is there no E? I'm not going to be able to spell that. Oh, but I spelled it here. Now this is starting to look less and less like. So let's just do grades for now. Um, so crystals come down here. And let's have a look at our generator. So grades is just hard-coded and assumed. So we'll just do for 1, so for 2 to 8, we will we'll end, and then we'll do um, we'll just format and grade. Same here. We will just format in our grade with our %d. We'll do grade -1. Awesome. So we could be cruel and do count minus. Making it extremely hard to craft some of the more expensive ones. But I think for now this should work fine. So this should now give us all the recipes we now need for 2 to 8 crystals. This will allow us to craft up to tier 8 of a crystal. But this won't do inners, and inners will get wiped out and eliminated. We do need to add a crafting description, I guess, in here, but for now this works fine. So now let's make it so that grades can actually be included when they get mounted. So I'm pretty sure this is stored in initialize, or maybe in shared. Weapons, entities, inventory, yeah. And crafting is in the base game mode. So we can go, if not if server, how do we not mount things? If disabled modules, where's disabled modules defined? Yeah, so, and then the name is crafting system. So, if disabled modules, crafting underscore system, then we continue, else we find containers, no, items slash recipes. Spell like that? Recipe, there's not a second I, recipes. That doesn't look right. But that's what we're going with. I can't spell. So CL file. Yeah, then we include the general file. We should also technically probably make this be like a dot lower instead. No loop to continue. Oh, because it's not continue, it's just return. We basically, yeah, if crafting system is disabled, then we want to go. Okay, so then let's run a refresh, and then let's see if this appears now. Because if it does, that's awesome. Okay. So let's now open and let's make an item. There we go. So it doesn't actually tell us at the top at the moment. I should make it list the things. But this is going up a tier. 25 grades. Okay, so this is the thing I've just done. A number value. Is it O item count? Is that how this is done? Yeah, item count, there you go. So we'll just retrieve the data from it. In this case, it doesn't really matter, because these types of crystals don't stack. So, okay, if I reopen the menu, make item, click on this one and click craft, Grade 3, yep. Um, column ID and field, unknown column, yeah, that's a problem. Okay, so for now, let's just drop the table. Nope, that's not the one I meant to connect to. That is an old schema that we don't use anymore. Um, and these need to be changed at some point to be slightly better and different than what they actually are. Okay, so we are looking for crafting table, crafting jobs. There we go, and then just drop table, and hopefully the deletion works the correct way. If it doesn't, I might have just deleted my character. Because what it's meant to do is it's meant to delete the job when the character gets removed, which is quite rare. Just to, as like a clear up the database, because we don't actually do a lot of that. Okay. Open crafting job. There you go. So let's make item. Craft. No scripters. It'll take 20 seconds. That's another thing. I think it should increase in length. There you go. I'm no longer getting anything on that. So if I make item, it does still claim that, but I think that's just because it doesn't refresh. Yeah, there you go. There's nothing here now. No items for us to craft. And if we look into our make items, we can. So if we look at our inventory, you can see we now have. Let's have a look at grade 2s. So then we have 1, 2, 3. We're not going to get any further than grade 4. There we go. So we can now go in here, and we can then craft this one time. It'll take 20 seconds to craft, and then we won't be able to craft another. Okay, so that's a bug with the crafting menu, is it doesn't refresh the item list ever. This is wrong. The menu does not update when you insert, when you Okay, there we go. So now, if we open this, go retrieve an item. We now have a grade 4. So yeah, so we have grade 4, grade 3, 2 grade 2s, and a grade 1. Like yeah, so values and time need to be modified, but like grading system is very clearly functional, which it already was, but there's a bug I think. That's why. Oh yeah, and then I wanted to add a recipe for crystal inners. Oh my goodness, I'm an idiot. So yeah, so what we're gonna do then is the we're gonna take I want to say I don't know, I can't remember how high crystal fragments stack, but I want it to be a fairly dumb value. Um, of I mean, they're probably stuck to the full like 999. Um, I don't actually remember how many fragments you get per crystal refining fail. I think it's just one. Um, yeah, it looks to be one. Yeah, so not too great there. Okay, but let's work on trying to make a um recipe to handle that. Um, which shouldn't be too bad. Crystal liners. So these are the properties to match above. So I think these two need to match. Um, so let's try this one here. Um, and I can't actually modify the name based off the value at the moment. Um, I could implement something there. Um, but right now the name is yeah, just Great Crystal. Um, so just Crystal Inner Imbuing, let's go with. Um, Crystal Inner Color Imbuing? I don't actually know how that's spelled. Let's just go Crystal Color. That's the name of the recipe for now. So we do that. And then the property we care about is the grade? I think, yeah. And then this is the one that matters, I think, for the internal. So yeah, this one, we need the count of 1. So this needs to match, but this actually needs to match the same grade. So I think actually just put this up here. Where we just do a quick format on it. That's turned to go a bit off the screen, but I don't think we actually want grade. I think we just want grade here. And same with here. So property doesn't matter. Then the next one, this is the one that's odd. So this one we're going to need, let's go for 7 for right now. Color, I don't think we need that, but I think we need, I think. It's partially wrong here anyway, because of property. So let's go into our crystal generator. Um, so we do have a color underscore, but it's a fractured crystal, is what we have here. So we'll go fractured crystal and go 7. And the color I think needs to match. So I think this should be fine. Um, but it probably doesn't get registered. At the same time, we might actually just be able to choose the grading here. Because we need the same grade, so we might not actually need a in a per grade. Um, but I'm not going. I think I'm going to start with just 2 for now. And let's just also make sure I do a print here of just so that I know for definite it's loading in. Let's do a refresh, and let's go from here. But given the fact nothing came up, I'm not going to be too hopeful on that. Because I might actually have things the wrong way around. Make item. Yeah, nothing here. Okay, so this definitely is not right. Um, let's. Okay, so we have our properties and we loop through. So the properties match first. Yep. And then okay. So this should work for this property match here, right? I think. This should get me fractured crystal of the same color. I mean, can we test? We should be able to. Um, yeah, the one's got run. Find matching con will just be entity one get char get inventory. This is a lot of code. Um, um, yeah, this is a lot of code. Okay, so we have one fractured crystal. the count isn't used here, this is just for getting matching items. So you have one fractured blue. Um, God, this table is just looping. So it's been printed. So if I'm wanting to actually print this properly, I should um there we go, yeah. So we do get our fractured crystals in here. Um because we just loop over, like because we have no properties, so it's fine then properties to match. Okay. Okay, so I think this is fine. Um because each time there's a new property that gets added on, usually it like matches up and increases in length. Um, so so you have 9 out of the 7. Um, that's not right. Um, because we do have 9 fractured, but the color is meant to match. Um, and they're meant to match each other. They're not meant to be. But these 7 need to match, which it's not happening. Um, right? Like we don't want the color, but this should be doable. Like this match is Okay, so then we've got properties to match. Group. Okay, this is clearly broken because this has come through. Um, where's the code that I just touched? Because that just broke the thing. So it's here. So if previous ID equals item ID, and if item ID equals ID or item ID equals that. So was it this line of code here? What? It can't have been that, right? Clearly it was. So if I do that instead, does that fix it? No. What? So it's not this here. That's like the only line of code I touched. Well, I also touched this. Is it that maybe? There we go. Okay, so that's the line of code that actually broke it. I was about to say I didn't think the line of code that I touched should have broken things like that. Um, okay, let's go for that then. Still not working. Um, oh, or there we go. That was the problem. There we go. That's the bit we needed. We now go back and make item 777. There we go. That worked. However, we are only having 3 items come up. Um, is that because we're only looking at grade 2s? Do I have another? Yeah, okay, we only have 3 grade 2s. That's why. And this is only looking at grade currently. Um, but if we remove the format from this and just go with it's a property to match as a %d and make item, we now have a few more. There we go. I love. Ah, this is just so dumb. I love it. um. Yeah. So this gives us our item groups, which doesn't tell us which item group they belong to, sadly. I don't remember if the item group's here. Also, like, this comes from the item group. I don't know if we can tell if the item, which one it's come from. Perhaps to then get the info. We can just get it. We have its thing, so we can just go type. Um, I assume we have like an has properties function. We don't. Really? Oh my, that's so fucking dumb. Okay, let's go to the items. Um, Properties, yeah. Oh no, we has property. So it has property, and the property here we care about is crystal. So if we have this property, then this means we're handling our like first item group. It's gonna complain because it's gonna say like, oh dumb, dumb, dumb. So we care if it's fractured crystal. Um, it's something like that. So now we have our color, and then we go unstable, and then we go. I don't remember the variable now for it. Oh god, though every time I use the crafting system, I just love it. It is unnecessarily complex, yes, but it is fucking awesome. Because it just means that we can just do this, like um okay, so it's crystal inner. So we go crystal inner is equal to color. So now we keep our unstableness. Um Technically what I think we should do is store the stableness state and then I don't know. But either way. Um So yeah, this will mean that crystals, corruptedness, unstableness, whatever, copies across, but also we now add in the inner color. This does also mean that when crafting, combining, we do lose the crystal inner. So crystal inners you do afterwards. As it's basically a like fancy imbuing stage, whatever you want to call it, where you just add your crystal inner. The same will be done with blade designs as well. How with blade designs, crystal inners will copy across. So yeah, there we go. We have a potentially working recipe. I'm going to lower the count down to like 2, just so I have a few tests of this. I mean, I can also actually go back into the code and just remove the removing temporarily. That will also allow me to duplicate the grades quite a bit. Okay. So, let's go back into the code. We have our make items. No script errors. And it's grade 3. So it will appear here when it's done. Open crafting menu, retrieve item. Ooh, I'm actually kind of nervous for this one. Okay. We've got it. We have an inner of rainbow. Okay, okay, okay. Let's add this grade 3 on here. Let's unequip, re-equip. Yes! There we go! Crystal Enhance! Awesome. Awesome. And it's rainbow. Awesome. So if we really wanted to do things grade specifically, which we're not doing at the moment, but if we did want to do that, what we could do is make it so that the grade modifies like the count required for the fragment. So like the higher the grade crystal, the more fragments you need maybe to dye it. But yeah, there we go. We have a rainbow winner. And if I remember correctly, I think there was meant to be a color offset from a rainbow winner. I can also just give myself a rainbow winner. If I wanted to. Oh, that could be a really neat thing to implement. A button here of just like modify item if you're an admin. And yeah, then when you look at it here, I think the inner should get added to the name. But names aren't quite dynamic just yet. But actually, given the fact that the data is there, I mean, I can just literally just override the name function here. Because we don't do, there's a just get name. So I think I could just do function type get name and then return like No, let's not do that. Ah, that's dumb. I'll figure it out later, how to insert the inner color into the name. But there we go, it's rainbow. Um, and like, oh, that's a lot of prints I need to get rid of. That one there. And yeah, eventually we'll be able to do blades as well. So blades, I will just be storing blades on crystals as well, I think. Um, Similar design of in the crafting, you will just be able to like take what you want and just imbue it. It'll just be a pattern. Um, so yeah, that is awesome. I'm going to just be saying that over and over again because I'm just really happy because that has been. I have been putting this off for a while, and I think we will be in the. I mean, we've tested it. Let's go configuring stage. Um, as we work on the recipe for it. We don't need a for loop now because there's nothing for loopy about this current version. Attempt to concatenate. Oh yeah, that. Okay. Okay then. So. Okay, my brain is being slow. Okay, so actually no, it's not really configuring. That's just done. Um, so nice crystal, and it is awesome. Okay, let's have a look at the code in there. Ugh, lots of other dumb modifications as well. Um, Mostly crafting system changes actually, and removal. Okay, crafting system. Let's go through the thing. Um, Add property to match group. Recipe field. Field. This one can actually be removed. I'm not sure I need this recipe template. I think that's more likely to cause problems. Okay. Let's push that to origin. And then let's go to JvS. Uh, um, to blade render. Let's go to blade rendering, I guess. I mean, let's just blade rendering. Added colors to add crystal and colors to recipe. I think actually most of this can just be reverted actually, because the variables aren't used. Uh, inners aren't used. I mean, nor a blade table, nor a blades. Um, and then there's one more up here, isn't there? Yep, one more here. Awesome. At some point, I do think I should cache this value because, like, there's going to be a lot of lightsaber blades being rendered, and this info is called constantly. Technically, if we get the model, there's probably not that many models. Um, and we can just store like maybe 100 models in memory. We can just count like how many more blades they have and what Quillians they have. That might be an option. That might not actually be too bad. Um, and then we can just index it quite cheaply from like model names. And let's be honest, most people will have the same model. Because a lot of models that exist, they're not that great for combat. So unless you're like looking for style points, most of the time when you're in actual combat, you will be using a specific like model. Even if you have like a really cool one that you like to use just because it looks cool, whatever. Okay then. I mean, there are more things we could work on. We can work on the login system. Um, let's also actually just push that to live. Um, there we go. Okay. Okay. Awesome. So look at OSR space again for anything major. Uh, yeah. So this is just like stuff that's like past. Um. So what's on the doc system? Examples and alias to be implemented. Um, and is this on the newer version? I mean, hell, let's work on the documentation system a bit. Um, I'm going to assume this is the most modern version. We don't have alias. From what I'm seeing here. Okay, and it's also saying we don't have examples. Uh, I don't. I mean, examples are listed here. It's just string, which is not quite how they should be listed. And this code is very messy because it's a single file. Okay, this goes up. Yep. And then just get pushed in. Um, this function simply calls os.write. Okay, so we should just use os.write file instead. Cool. And we just pass in an error. Awesome. Okay, this isn't too bad. And then yeah, is this just deprecated? Yeah. What's using? It just re-added it, so something is still using that. Am I reading a file or something? os.read file. There we go. And now the deprecation is gone. Okay. So examples and alias is not is like a nice to have. Um because what it does is basically just gets the info, I guess. Um Afterwards. Or we can just add alias as a property and just say like another name for it. Or we just don't go aliases and just duplicate documentation, which I think I prefer that idea. We could also have just the description just see this function instead. Um, Examples, yeah. Do we actually have an example? Examples are just stored as strings at the moment. Um, Okay, and then at the same time, this is just like the raw data um, that is provided by the code. I mean, technically, examples aren't in the code. That's one of the reasons why I'm not wanting. You know what? Let's just remove examples from this as well. Examples aren't necessary in the pure code documentation. That would be done in like the renderer. So I'll add that into the first build as well. Um, just also just join all this stuff. Okay, there we go. Awesome. Uh, we can keep going then. There. God, there's so much. I need to. I didn't join any of the ones to begin with, did I? No, it doesn't look like it. Now that I think about it, I never went on Do Not Disturb on before I started streaming. Oof. Okay, that's not great, but that's fine. Okay then. So that's had a rewrite since then, so that can go as well. There's been a rewrite since then, that can go. Okay, that's likely, I think, still true. That I think is also true no more. I mean that also need, yeah, okay. So I mean, I guess we could try the faction raid system. Try to figure out what's broken with that. Um, because that is still, yeah, it's just a tear, and the error at the same time it's a bit of a pain to test the the faction raiding. Um, so I think that's stored here. Yeah, raid SH faction. And it's a fully shared file. Wonderful. Nice and stealable. Okay, so what's the error? Line 336, attempt to index a null value. 336. Faction raid planet, character get faction name, character get ID, state equals 2. Um, that changes the stage of a faction raid? Oh, for the character. Okay. I was about to say, I didn't think the faction raid itself. Also, this uses the old, technically the old rating system. Um, which I guess I could modify. Um, a bit. But it's one where like I'm still holding off slightly. Um, before I do the rewrite for the raid system because I'm waiting for some changes to happen to the add-on that we're going to use for that. But at the same time, I've been waiting for over a fucking year now for that update to come. Um, so I do wonder whether or not I should work on it. Um, Interaction rate for the player, yeah. Is that a global function? No, it should be local, right? I mean, this code isn't great. Okay, so we're now storing on faction raids instead. Um, yeah, so we start the raid down here. So we have our raids, faction name. So I think we store it like this. So I think the problem with the indexing down here on 335. No, we do that. Um, what do I need to start a faction raid? So I need to be... The raid party just gets ignored, actually. Does the raid party... the raid party just doesn't get used. So we can just use the code. I can just use code, literally. Um, okay. So yeah. Yeah, the raid party just gets ignored. The players just get passed in as a table. We store the table into it, and then player, planet, faction name, character ID, and then the info there. That should be correct. Right? I guess maybe faction name doesn't get passed in correctly. In the code. Where do we call start faction raid? It's called twice. Um, I think that one is more likely to be the one than this one. Because this one passes in the member list. This one just passes in player. And if player was the thing, yeah, okay. So this is so we use a party, and the can start party is whether we have enough power. Yes. Okay, where does faction name come from? Here. And where does char come from? Make or join party. Okay. And then faction name comes from the faction name there, yeah. So I mean this one should also probably use faction name as well. Or just nullify it. And we keep calling faction name, even though we've stored it as a variable. Which is a bit dumb. Okay, there we go. So... Still slightly confused. But either way, we can just call it with the member list, faction name, planet name. Okay. So in theory, if I wanted to test this, I should just be able to do allure underscore run, do this. Korriban. Let's just go all the way down here. So we can go entity 1, close it, then Sith. 260. Attempt to index a nil value. Ah, it does. It doesn't read from the party, but the faction party thing does exist. Um, and then we do nil it afterwards, don't we? Yeah. Okay, so factions, raid party, Sith. Wait, why am I doing Caravan? I meant to do Typhon. Let's just do True. And let's set this to be Typhon. Typhon. Attempt to index faction raid party. Oh no, is this local? Oh no, I just made a typo. Attempt to index a nil Sith. Okay, that's complete butchered. There we go. And then there. Attempt to index space sent a nil value. Okay. Um, 281. So our space sent is we get from the planet. What do you mean this planet doesn't exist? What? Is that because maybe it hasn't loaded in? How does get planet work? Space sense class type planet. Okay, so yeah, it's just because the space entity hasn't loaded in. So as we I just noticed that message. I'll wait for a thing to come in. That should also be moved across onto the screen. Okay. So yeah, space system hasn't loaded, so faction rating system can't work. Yes, makes sense. Uh oh, but it has put me into a faction raid. Assassinate someone, capture holocron. Complete one of the. Okay, what does the bit that errored do in the faction raid? Um. Okay. So svmain.go is just like a file for documenting code. Where is it? So here is basically like it just gives me this like JSON file I can then render in certain ways. So um is this one? Yeah, so this is like really bad. Like it doesn't look great. Um but like this is kind of like what it would allow you to do. So you can just like read information. I'm still working on the renderer for the documentation system. Um, and basically there's two versions of it. There's a lower version, written here. And then we just have a Golang version. And the reason we have both is the Golang version is instantaneous. The Lua one is like 30 seconds or something. So it's like the Lua one is useful for if like you haven't built the documentation yet and you're working on something that hasn't had the documents for it. So you can just generate it in game, but at the same time, it's not quite as good as if you were to use the. It's not as quick as the other one. Okay. So I want is planet system. Is that a thing? Yeah, planet system dot get planet. That's just really dumb. Um, and let's just use warp position, I guess. Yeah. Well, it should be raid position, but raid position doesn't exist. I'll do raid pos or uh I am I tied to developing a server? Um I mean there's bits on and off where like my motivation fluctuates. I mean quite recently I just took a sort of like 4 or 5 month kind of just break from Gmod entirely. Um but no, I'm code is code. It's I enjoy the challenge. Um I would definitely say I'm not quite as motivated as I was when I originally started, sort of, I think 7 years ago now. Um, but it's yeah, it's quite fun still, and yeah, there's a little bit of me that goes like I have promised a server. I probably should um like like make one. Okay, let's go with that. So that should now mean I can then test this now without worrying. Okay, there was a script error there when I just did a refresh. So something was wrong there. Um, though I don't see anything in the code here that should cause that. I mean, one thing with that length of time is there's a bit of like certain things I'd want to be looking a hell of a lot nicer than they are now. So like you can see like the general UI, for example, looks pretty horrific, and I have been looking for UI designers for probably about a year now, if not longer. And just pretty much everyone that I've hired so far has either been too busy or the more common one is just flaky, with either bad communication, um, or I mean, one or two was like bad communication on my part, just because I was really busy with my life at the time. Um, but yeah, it's a bit annoying. Okay, so if I now do that, planets, planet system failed. Okay, is the planet system, does it not work the same way as it used to? Oh, because it's a get with a dot. That's really odd. Um, let's try this. If old, then planet equals old. There you go. It's wrong way round. It should be planet old. There you go. Okay, but I'm still on a faction raid, and again it errored, so let's refresh the map. Okay, and the error is raid info. Oh god, I accidentally had a command. Ugh, that didn't go well. Yeah, I had a command running, so it's like that. The command yeah in the thing, so it's just spammed throughout. Uh, fun. Why did I open my inventory? Yeah, at the same time, like, it is one where I've spent a lot of time on it. Um, and I would argue in its current state, like, there are better active servers. Okay, is this really Tython? Yes, it is. Okay, so I need to assassinate someone or capture a holocron. Okay. Can I remember where holocrons are even stored in this map? I think they're through here. No, this is the Jedi Council chamber. This is not where I wanted to go. Holocrons through here then, maybe? No, dear God, it's been too long. Let's try that. Screen's broke. Yeah, okay, okay, this is looking more familiar. Through here then? Yes, and then this side? Yeah, there. Okay, searching, capturing, cool. So the error I encountered there, I don't think technically would happen normally because the space system would be active when a faction raid is started. But space system has its own bugs at the moment that I need to fix. Sorry about that. And I can't work on faction system. Hang on, let me find some water. Yeah, I can't work on faction on space system on stream as that code is private, and I am not going to be showing that on stream. Okay, is holocron capturing? Where is holocrons even existing? Okay, there we go. We got a huge amount of spam just now from the holocron system. Um. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Stop. 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 Okay. Holocron system. Uh. SVNet self SL chat message. Yes, that has been removed. So we pass on a table and then we just pass in cell get player. Yes. Okay. Speaking of this, I wanted to check. Would that would have set my, oh god. If it was erroring here, that must have set my thing really high, didn't it? Oh, don't actually only set it to one, but it gave me multiple items because I haven't returned them yet. That's why. Okay, but at the same time, it hasn't realized that I am. I have a holocron. So and I can't drop holocron, can I? Yeah, you can't drop them. I can kill myself, but that would end the raid. Yeah, so I have developed it further. That's one of the reasons why there's bugs in it at the moment. Uh, so in a recent update, I made it so that you can now have ship interiors and stuff. And I have perma-propped some entities into the ship, and now whenever I load up the ship, I get like seven versions of the ship get made because there are like 6 entities plus me that are all requesting it at the same time. Which is a bit problematic. But yeah, ships will be able to have upgrades. What else can be done? Why do I spam? Okay, sorry, I just noticed I had a message for spam. I can show you kind of what it looks like right now. It's, as I said, it is a bit broken. Okay, what was I doing before I was running around? I need this hook to fire. Okay, no one's gonna run, character, entity 1, get char, and then faction would be Jedi. Unexpected symbol near. Oh, I've done one too many. Yeah, as I say, it's very broken. And I think the version that you're talking about, I have rewritten since then because it didn't have everything I needed in it. Okay, there you go. Now get to the landing pad. Cool. So it wants me to go to the landing pad to finish this raid. I think it's this one. There you go. I've gained 200 XP. Got my holocrons. Yeah, there you go. Very broken. Okay. So this is my quote-unquote ship that I'm on. As you can see, it's not rendering properly. But if I were to, there's a vehicle here that I can't interact with that would allow me to control it. script errors, and a whole bunch of prints. Okay, let me just store that script error. To remind. Yeah, interiors. That's where you were then. It's just the interior isn't rendering properly because the interior has been put into a different ship than the one I am on, even though server side it thinks it's the same ship, client side it doesn't. And so things are getting like ever so slightly confused there. Um, but yeah, I'm intending to have ship interiors so you can have stuff, and I'm also going to make it so that you can have a spawn point on your ship. So if you put if your ship if you've left it out in space, like if you're thinking like if you've got a nice big capital class ship that can't be docked, you can have spawn points on that capital ship. And so when you die, you can choose to respawn on your ship. And just like take a fighter out of it and whatever. Which is quite cool. That reminds me, I do need to actually put a capital ship into the like demo there to see that to make sure that it's spawning in properly. Okay, and I haven't died, so I've got my holocrons. So this is going to be painful. Now I need to remember where that render is also broken. I think the holocron's down here. There are so many parts of this map that like I want redone because it's just not great. And then the button's there, I think. Yep, there you go. Yes, hopefully one day, one day. Uh, yes. I don't know when the next beta is going to be happening. Um, because I think it's been over a year now since the last beta, and some of the feedback's been implemented, not all of it. Because I mean, yeah, I mean, one of the biggest one is just there wasn't quite enough content for things to do on the server. And the main loop that we had, people didn't like. So we're going because it is a time sink. Like that is what it was designed to be, and it's one where the players didn't find it a satisfying time sink. And so yeah, it basically just became a thing of as people didn't like it like that, people stopped playing on the server. And then obviously if people aren't playing, then yeah. So and the loop we were focusing is like the crystal refining. So my plan is I'm going to turn it into a bit more of a kind of rhythm game-esque thing, where when you're refining, there'll be like probably circles that appear on your UI, and you'll just tap on them, and the more perfect or the better you are like on time with the circles being, the higher quality your crystal will be. Okay, this is gonna be painful. How is this cooldown actually calculated? It's just a value that's done? Oh no, that's the direction it's going with the value. And the max progression is set by max progression is just set defaults to 100. Okay, really should be a config value to make it easier for me when I'm testing code. Because I am a Sith Lord. Sith Lords have a value of 2. So that means I'm waiting for almost a minute, I think, for each one of these. That'll be painful. I'll just kill myself. Uh, let's just go ahead and kill myself. Yep, that looks fine. Cool. And so I should now have... No, it's here, menu. No, not config. Character list, Sith Lord. Edit variables. I have 2 holocrons. Cool. Okay then. So the faction rating system seems to work there. So yeah, like that is the intention. The problem is there's no real killer features right now. Like the space travel is cool and all, but other servers already have it because like how slow I've been at developing it. Other servers have been able to replicate part of it. Um, and so a lot of what we have isn't. It's one of like, yeah, I've been working on it for 7 years. Um, and the scope of the server hasn't changed much since that time, but people have copied my ideas. So, and they've been moving a lot quicker than I have been. Because either they're not a one-man team, or they're just doing things slightly easier with slightly less scope. Um, and they also just have more free time. I don't have as much free time as I once had. Because I have a whole bunch of like obligations now. Okay, so I'll join that and I'll go with that needs testing. Because that did seem to function. I guess I could try to kill myself, see what happens there. Try to join the same region twice. Oh, because the space entity's already there. Okay. Um, so that code needs to be handled better. I'll just warp over to Tython. As I can't warp there. Yes, I can. Okay, and then if I kill myself. No script errors. Let's go ahead and then let's go run. I've got the variable name. Uh, I honestly, it's one of I don't view it as a bad thing that people have like taken my ideas. I love it because it means that they are good ideas. Um, and it's one where it's probably not a great thing for me to say this, but I care more about writing the code and slightly less about and like making cool systems and slightly less about like running a server or community. So it can still be active. So it's not ending correctly. Oh, if table count. That doesn't seem right. Um, 0. Active planet false. Why false? Go now. Okay, and then let's try do an end raid again, or did it get wiped? Because I saved lower. No, it's able to keep itself up. So lower underscore run, interaction raid, entity 1. Central index 299. Because planet is not set. Okay. Try do that. Yeah. And then let's try just kill myself. No. Is there no chat print on this? There's a raid cooldown that gets added. That's it. So I am. So yeah, I do programming in lots of things. So I am a program software like programming consultant as my day job. So that's like the job I have. Then I do Gmod. I have recently branched into VR chat, doing sort of world creation there. Uh, okay, I'll be ending the stream in 10 minutes, I think. Uh, once I probably once I fix this. So yeah, I do other things. Um, for yeah, I mean my Gmod work. I've been in Gmod, I think over a decade now. Which I think is just crazy to think about. I've been in it for just so goddamn long. Let's just bring this raid cooldowns table and see if it's there. Sith. Yep, there we go. Okay, and that's timed up with care time. Awesome. So yeah, that seemed to function, except they work when called from code. Haven't tested with party system. That requires a few players for that. Okay, cool. So that one's almost done. Yeah, I guess I could. Okay. So yeah, so I was gonna end it in a bit. But that is the only thing I need to test. Hmm. Is there anything I can quickly start on or look over? Sun's in-rating system are broken. Oh, no, that's not a simple fix. That's a very painful thing. And it greatly annoys me. Okay, none of those bugs can be fixed. Oh yeah, this one can be fixed quite quickly. I was actually looking at that one earlier today. Because what I can do is is this old code? No, of course it's not. If there's already it's always I always find it funny um, that it tries to do like the validation, despite the fact that there's never any like okay, so yeah, it keeps trying to do the thing. If player okay, and then okay, so it's permissions.register. We have the permission names. It would be ban.override um, false ban, I think, is the order of things. Um, and go, yeah, burn false admin. Oh, admin, crap. Not ban. There's no category thing for it, is there? So this will actually, instead of being ban, it's super admin. Super admin. There we go. Okay. 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 I'm going to end the stream here then, because fixing the ban overriding. I don't think there's any other, like... Oh, there is a ban ID. Um... Okay, awesome. Let's go with that. Okay, where is OBS? There it's OBS. Awesome. See you guys next time. I think it's gonna be Saturday. My next stream.